Well, today we're in Old Forge, the south part of Old Forge. We're at the Electric City Ciderworks. This is their outdoor patio, and behind that door is Scott and Tom, and we're going to talk to them about this new business. Well, it's an absolute pleasure to come inside and meet Tom, who's one of the co-owners of the Electric City Ciderworks. Tom, tell us about it. You're a fairly new business, yeah?
Yes, we had a soft opening in July of this past year, and we had our grand opening in September. This is the former Lawrenceville Hose Company building, so for very many years, there would be a fire engine here, and where we now have the tap room.
Cider now has become extremely popular in America. People are becoming a bit more cognizant of what it is. Do you have a history in terms of cider, or is it?
No, honestly, for me, cider has always been way too sweet. And a lot of cideries will add sugar, for example, and we don't do that. And Scott makes dry ciders, so the texture, the flavor, significantly better.
I gather you like to use local sources.
Absolutely. So we get all of our juice from Brace's Orchard. They're year-round, and so once a week we get our deliveries and we start the fermentation process.
Fantastic.
We add our yeast. We do not add any kinds of preservatives. For 7 to 10 days, we're in the fermenters. We have to keep them at a certain temperature. Then we transfer them to conditioning kegs where we cold crash for about 3 weeks. And then we have our cider ready to go.
Absolutely. So the cold crash allows everything to settle out.
Yep, exactly.
Which is basically close to the final product.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. Well, I've moved into the heart of the operation.
My cider is unique by combining traditional methods with technology. We're able to achieve, I think, a pretty singular taste.
Excellent. Now that sounds a bit complex. What it produces is a very, very good cider, I have to say.
Thank you. We ferment at a regular cider fermenting temperature, actually slightly warmer. Because we try to get that farmhouse feel, and obviously farmhouses in the 1800s didn't have air conditioning, right?
Well, Scott, one of your secrets, I gather, is the way you cool the cider.
I use what you could consider a lagering process, like they do in American light lagers, and we cool it down to near freezing for roughly a month. This allows me to avoid using techniques like filtration and over sulfiting and stuff. A lot of people are sulfite sensitive. I use a saison yeast, and I blend it with a champagne yeast so that we can get that kind of aged, kind of traditional funk body and spice with the more familiar champagne yeast kind of tart.
Scott, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you about the intricacies of cider making. I'm going to go upstairs and try some of your products, mate.
Very cool.
Well, Tom, thanks ever so much. These look absolutely amazing. So I'm going to start here.
So this is our Barnyard Dry. It's our flagship cider. We don't add any sugar, and this is going to be our driest option.
Oh, I like that. That's pretty good.
I'm glad to hear
Pretty
it.
good, yes. Very drinkable. And as you say, it's dry. It's not dry as in... It's just, sometimes the sweetness of a lot of those commercially made ciders can be a bit too much. Now this almost looks like grapefruit juice from its coloration.
So that's our apple ginger. It's very forward on the ginger, and it's one of our more popular flavors among cider connoisseurs.
Gotcha. So, oh, the ginger is right there, isn't it? Right up your nostril. Oh, I like that too. It's got a gingery beer with a cidery mix to it all. Yeah, that's very, very nice. All right, something kind of like a rosé wine.
Yeah,
so of foam on the top.
So this is a light cider. So all of our ciders range from 6 to 7% alcohol content. This is about 3.4. So we wanted to make a lighter cider, and that's our cranberry.
Yeah, a little more watery.
Yeah, it's lighter.
And it's got that kind of the cranberry tang to it.
Yep, that little bit of tartness.
Now this one here on the end, what do we got here?
So that is, we call it the porch pounder. It's our semi-sweet.
Porch pounder.
Yep, and of our flagships, that is absolutely the most popular
most
among
popular
everything.
seller. Okay.
And we call it the porch pounder because you could just sit on your porch and
again,
pound it all day.
about 5-6%.
That one is about 6.2.
Just a tad sweeter.
Yep.
I mean, not super sweet by any means. Yeah.
Yep, that's why we call it a semi-sweet.
I can see why they call it a porch pounder.
There you go.
I better go easy on this one. No, absolutely brilliant. I mean, these are, you know, we've been to many cideries in our place, and this is a unique sort of taste you've got here. Cider goes so well with so many different types of food. And of course, we're in Old Forge. Pizza is the operative words. How can people enjoy pizza here with your cider?
So a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll stop at one of the local pizza places, grab themselves a tray, come down, they'll get their cider, sit outside on the patio. It works out great. It makes for a nice symbiotic relationship. We love it here.
Fantastic.
Easiest way to get here is, like everything nowadays, pop it into Google Maps. It's 945 South Main Street. We're in the SI Studios building. Huge white building. Used to be a
You're around
fire
the back.
Yep, and we are around
I
the
have
back.
to say the GPS worked very well. Cheers.
Salute.